The conversations that have really filled this room are so very inspiring, I think, for both for the students and for the donors. These are things that bring all of us here today, and we just really thank everyone for their participation. So to formally begin the program, please join me in welcoming Chancellor Janet Gooch to the podium.
Thanks a lot, Julie. I want to welcome all the students, the staff, and friends to this absolutely amazing event. Our annual Scholarship Luncheon is probably one of my favorite events of the year. What an incredible opportunity to bring together our amazing students and their generous donors to celebrate the pursuit of excellence at UIS. Donors, your support is truly invaluable. As you spend time with your scholarship recipients and other students today, I hope you see firsthand the profound impact of your generosity. You are not just providing financial support, you are investing in dreams, potential, and futures. You are fueling hope and the power to change the world. Thanks to your support, we have been able to provide life-changing scholarships to many deserving students. This academic year, we have awarded more than $1 million in scholarships to nearly 300 students. Your generosity has lifted financial burdens so our students can more easily focus on their studies and can engage in meaningful extracurricular activities and community service. Students, your pursuit of knowledge and steadfast commitment to your dreams inspire us all. It is your success that drives us to continue our mission of providing a student-centered educational experience both on our beautiful campus and online. I encourage all of you to stay connected beyond today's event. Donors, please continue to follow the journeys of these amazing students, and students, be sure to share your stories and let your donors see the incredible impact of their support. Together, we are building a brighter future. Now we have the opportunity to hear from a few students who will share their personal journeys with us. The first student we'll hear from is CJ Campbell, a senior who is pursuing his bachelor's degree in philosophy online. Let's hear CJ's story.
Hi, my name is CJ Campbell. I'm about to enter my senior year here at the University of Illinois Springfield, where I am majoring in philosophy and minoring in English. I have the intention of pursuing becoming a university professor in those areas. And as a first-generation low-income student with disabilities, I chose UIS quite simply because it was an open door. I was among the first generation of students that was legally allowed to attend public school, and the barrier to education is a synonymous struggle with students like me. The University of Illinois Springfield was the only university in the state of Illinois that allowed me to pursue my undergraduate education fully online, which helped to navigate the transportation and housing barriers and a little bit of the socioeconomic barriers that I face in my unique situation. For students that are representative of me, this is a crucial piece to why places like UIS are so important, and it's simply because it's an open door, and those open doors allow students like me to not only face barriers, but hopefully not fall through the cracks that we have in our societies and in our communities worldwide. Obviously, I want to thank everyone that's involved in giving me this scholarship. I'm very fortunate to be one of the recipients, and I'm looking forward to meeting my donor here in a couple weeks and just getting to say thank you in person.
Well, While CJ could not be here in person today, he is watching this event live online. So hi, CJ. And we appreciate his willingness to be engaged with UIS and share his story. Since this video was recorded, CJ did have the opportunity to meet virtually with his scholarship donor, Karen Hasera. And that is what today is all about, building these connections. So now we'll have the opportunity to hear from a few more students who received the scholarship this year. First, we'll meet Amanda Brown. She's pursuing her master's degree in public administration with a certificate in community planning, and she recently earned her bachelor's degree from UIS in December of 2023. Amanda.
Good afternoon. I would like to express my gratitude for being here today. Thank you to UIS. Thank you to all the students and the donors who are at this luncheon. It's great to see everybody. I'm going to give kind of a brief story about myself. I transferred to UIS from Lincoln Land Community College in 2021 during a global pandemic. It was here at first I was very nervous to see what my college experience would look like. I didn't really know. I was completely online at Lincoln Land, so I didn't know what the structure of it would be. UIS met every single expectation I ever would have had for college. It was at UIS that I found not only academic growth, but also personal growth and so many different opportunities to grow. The faculty and staff were incredibly welcoming. They made my transition very smooth, which is why it was an easy choice to decide to come here for my graduate program as well. During my time at UIS, I've been fortunate enough to receive several scholarships that have greatly eased the financial burden of tuition. As the first in my family to graduate from college, I often worried about how I was going to afford my college education. These scholarships have allowed me to focus on my studies without the constant stress of finances. Additionally, I have a younger brother who is also in attendance. He goes to the campus as well, and he loves it. Everybody I meet, I constantly tell them how incredible UIS is, and I tell them about all the different opportunities that they offer. Academics have always been my main focus, but I believe also in giving back to the community in any way possible. I do have a passion for helping others. 3 years ago, I started a project called the Kiwanis Children Reading Corners through a nonprofit group that I'm part of called the Kiwanis Club of Downtown Springfield. We have 7 locations throughout Springfield, which provides free access to children's books and promotes literacy. This project has changed my life. I've been able to meet the families of these libraries directly, and I've been able to hear and understand their stories. Meeting my scholarship donors in person is an incredible, meaningful experience. It gives me a chance to express my gratitude directly and demonstrate how their generosity has made a real difference in my life. Hearing about their stories and their motivation behind their support is truly inspiring. Meeting other donors also creates a sense of belonging to a community that values education and personal growth, motivating me to continue to strive for my success. One day, I hope to also be one of these scholarship donors. Education has always been incredibly important to me, and I've worked hard to achieve high honors. Looking ahead, I hope to use my education to make a positive impact in the public sector. I'm passionate about community development, and I want to focus on initiatives to help improve the quality of life. In closing, I've learned that in order to be seen, you must first be heard. My journey isn't just about personal achievement, it's about making a meaningful impact on society. I know I cannot do this alone. I'm grateful for the support of like-minded individuals. Thank you all for your time and your support.
Thank you, Amanda. And now we'll hear from Sarah Prieto, who's pursuing her bachelor's degree in Management Information Systems. Sarah.
I want to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude for the opportunity to stand before you today. It's an immense privilege to share how profoundly your support has impacted my life. Coming from Colombia, studying management information systems in the United States was a goal that my family and I worked towards for many years. It was a dream driven by the hope of new opportunities and the chance to pursue both my education and my passion for golf. Like many of us here, my journey has been filled with its fair share of challenges and successes. For me, my time at UIS has meant stepping far outside my comfort zone, adapting to a new environment, and learning how to balance the demands of being a student athlete. Through it all, what has kept me grounded and driven is knowing that people like you believe in our potential and are willing to invest in our futures. This scholarship represents more than just financial support. This scholarship embodies trust, generosity, and belief. You didn't know us personally when you made your donation, yet you chose to trust our potential. You believed that we could learn, grow, and make meaningful contributions to the world. That trust has been one of the most powerful motivators during my time here. It reminds me that none of us achieve success alone. We are lifted by the kindness and support of others, especially during times of uncertainty. I am deeply moved knowing that there are people who are rooting for us, who believe in us without even having met us. That belief pushes us to work harder and strive for excellence, both academically and personally. Your generosity inspires me every day. In a world that can sometimes feel divided or uncertain, your willingness to invest in students reaffirms that there is still a shared commitment to creating opportunities and uplifting others. Your generosity has not only motivated me to excel in my studies, but it has also inspired me to give back. I want to pay forward the kindness I've received and become someone who, like you, believes in the potential of others and supports them in reaching their dreams. Thank you for trusting in the power of education and for being such an integral part of my journey. I look forward to carrying the legacy of generosity that you have shown me, and I am excited for the day when I will be able to pay it forward to others, just like you have done for the students at UIS.
All right, thank you, Sarah. And now we'll hear from Jermaine Primus, who is double majoring in public and nonprofit management and communication. He's also pursuing his CAS certificate in child advocacy studies. Jermaine.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I would just like to extend a big thank you to UIS for allowing me to pursue my educational journey here and allowing me to share my story here today. This is truly a privilege. I would also like to say thank you to all of the donors here, those both in attendance and both not able to attend. Your generosity affords people like me the opportunity to pursue their dreams. A special thank you goes out to the family of Norm A. Ehrenfield for giving me the opportunity to be the recipient of your scholarship. Last year was the first year I received that scholarship, and I am glad to say that I was able to reward that generosity by achieving Dean's List honors for both semesters. And I'm on track to do the same this semester. This scholarship has been a tremendous blessing for me. The scholarship helps to lessen the burden of financial costs to attend university and pursue my educational goals. My family and I are both grateful for this opportunity. In spring of 2026, I plan on being the first person from my family to receive their college degree. Excuse me, everybody. I hope to make the Ehrenfeld family and my own family proud by reaching this goal. To be able to be in this room with all the great people here at UIS, the scholarship recipients, and the donors is an honor. I hope this opportunity allows many people to put faces to names. It gives us scholarship winners a chance to express our stories and gratitude in a personal way. I was present at this event last year and was able to meet many wonderful scholarship donors. The interest they showed in me and my story helped me to understand that their donation was only a part of their commitment to me and to UIS. Being able to witness that sincere interest in person was motivation for me to continue to work hard and further validate my selection as a scholarship recipient. Being able to be a part of the UIS family has been nothing short of wonderful. I've had the chance to connect with many awesome peers, supportive professors, and wonderful academic staff like my first advisor, May Knoll, who helped to get me started on the right track. I have 2 young boys at home, and they are a part of my biggest motivation. They are also my biggest cheerleaders and are planning a graduation party for Dad, which is just more motivation to keep working. I am proud to know that they recognize that the path their father is on, and I can only hope that my efforts here are setting the best possible example for them. I want them to know that no dream is too big to chase and that it is never too late to pursue a goal. My journey is far from over, but I know that I'm doing all in my power to ensure that I reach the goal of becoming a college graduate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jermaine. It is so great to hear from these scholarship recipients. We want to thank CJ, Amanda, Jermaine, and Sarah for sharing your stories. And now we'd like to introduce our next speakers, Rich and Connie Frankenfeld, who have come to share their experience as donors. Both Rich and Connie are alumni of the University of Illinois system. Rich graduated from UIS with an MA in Human Development Counseling in 1976, and Connie graduated from UIUC with an MS in Library and Information Science in 1999. Rich is a former math teacher in Springfield who went on to work as a lobbyist for the Illinois Education Association, and from there he worked for the Teachers Retirement System. And now in retirement, he volunteers at his church, the Blood Center, and Grace Food Pantry. Connie retired from the Illinois State Library as a librarian of state electronic documents, and she belongs to 2 organizations that promote higher education with scholarships, PEO and the American Association of University Women. And she volunteers at her church and the Grace Lutheran Food Pantry. They have established a scholarship at UIS that supports students who plan on becoming teachers. They also support NPR Illinois, with Rich occasionally lending his voice for on-air drives. Let's welcome now Rich and Connie.
Thank you. I'm surprised at the picture. If I knew there was going to be a picture, I'd have put on some hair. I was surprised and honored when Katie Williams from the department asked us to briefly comment on why we donate to the university. Like many of my fellow donors, we donate because of our relationships with this university. My personal relationship began, I'm sorry to say, several years ago.
Decades.
Well, decades, okay. When I was teaching in District 186. My fellow teachers encouraged me to go back to school. They said, if you're ever going to make money in this profession, you better get your fanny back to school and move on that salary schedule. So I began my journey here. It wasn't UIS, it was Sangamon State University. And my first class was in a Quonset hut. Now, many of you probably don't know what that is. It's like a mobile home.
Without wheels.
Without wheels, that's right. My next major encounter with the university occurred when I was a lobbyist and sat in the Senate committee hearing room in the mid-90s when a senator from Hinsdale, Senator Kirk Dillard, outlined the committee's, for the committee, Governor Edgar's proposal to associate Sangamon State with the University of Illinois. In July, as many of you know, of 1995, Sangamon State University became the University of Illinois at Springfield, the third campus of the Big U. My most recent encounter occurred when I was working for the teachers' retirement system. I contacted Dr. Wilson of the Department of Education and asked if I could share with them what was happening in terms of retirement funding. It probably surprises many of you that retirement funding is always an issue. So I was pleased when I was given the opportunity to chat with students and to speak with them. I was impressed, very much so, with the students, particularly those students who were pursuing a second career. And I discovered that about a third of the classrooms that I spoke with were such students. We wanted to help. Dr. Wilson was there to say, well, let me put you in contact with somebody from the university. And we sat down with somebody from the Department of Advancement and developed a scholarship to help those students. Since then, Dr. Hatt, of the Director of Education, expanded the assistance by obtaining a state grant to assist area school districts to recruit and retain quality teachers. We were proud to help in that endeavor.
I'm going to be the last speaker and probably the briefest, so you probably like that. It is so nice to see all of you here who are interested in supporting higher education. Rich and I have been longtime supporters of public education on every level. We believe that education is important to the future of the community. We support our local teachers and schools. After all, both are required for a good education. We believe that education is important to the future of our community. We support, it naturally follows, in our opinion, that deserving students should have an opportunity for higher education. Of course, we are all here because we donate financial aid at UIS. But we do it not only for students, but also for the university and for the community. It is our idea of community development. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rich and Connie, for sharing your story and for being so inspiring for everyone. That concludes our program, so if you haven't already, remember to have your picture taken. There's a station out there and photographers around. We also invite you to take home the lovely centerpieces at your tables. Actually, I was just sitting here thinking, wow, I wonder what they're going to do with those beautiful flowers. So you guys can work it out at your table. Maybe the person that drove the farthest or has the most advanced degree or something, age or birthday, do something. So do something fun at your table to take home the beautiful centerpieces. And keep inspiring all of you. You students, keep doing what you're doing. Keep inspiring everyone to do what you're doing. Donors also just keep inspiring and keep the communication going. And we hope to see all of you back here again next year. Take care. Have a great day.